like Christmas music?
What?
Did you just turn my Christmas music down?
What do you... My hands are behind my head, bro.
You did something with your hands. Is there... You're using your knees.
What are you talking about,
You're using your knees. You know, the single... Those chestnuts pop. Hit it. Pop, pop, pop. Jake doesn't like Christmas music. He's a Scrooge.
I love whatever makes you happy, D-Rock.
Oh, that made me happy. All right.
Day one in Kansas, and we're just set up on a little bluff where we can see a big hub system. We've got 7 drainages that meet right here in this bottom. And so the goal is to just overlook this bottom. We've got the wind in our face pushing over into the private. If we see one and he goes to bed with a doe, we'll just push into that drainage and set up for the night. If not, we'll get in the car and make some moves midday, but we're gonna give this a few hours. That's got my confidence about sky high. What do you think? Surely there's a bigger deer than that, right?
Yeah.
They're continuing to come out of these draws, but we can glass these ones real good. We can't glass the far ones, but I'm just scanning back and forth, and we just caught a couple deer going into a pine thicket over there to bed down. So we've got buck and doe. We've got at least 2 more deer. It wasn't a giant buck. It could have been a little buck, but I don't know for sure. All right, so we just came in here, south wind. There's these giant telephone poles, and it looks like there's a buck bedded up above, looking down in the bottom, presumably for does. So he's looking that way. We're gonna circle real quick, try to put a stalk on him. South wind's blowing that way. I'm gonna circle around D-Rock. Make sure you stay off to the side a little so your wind doesn't hit him. But I'm gonna go up behind him. Derek's gonna try to get up on that shaded hill and get him with the camera. We're gonna try to kill this thing before dark. We got about an hour.
Jake's gonna have much of a chance here. It's really open where he's gonna have to drop down at this thing. So I don't know what he's doing. I think he's probably gonna bounce back around to me, but we know he's here, so that's good.
So what happened, Jake?
Well, cool encounter. I'm just running out of light. I just don't have time. I took my boots off, wanted to stalk that deer, but I just don't have time. And so I backed out instead of pushing him, because I could have pursued him or went too fast and it just would have blew the whole thing up. So I'd rather that happen again and him feel comfortable there, and maybe lay down there again and then have a few hours to work with, and I could probably pull off that stalk. So we'll see what happens. We'll try again tomorrow. It was a good day. All right, day 2. We tried to put that stalk on that buck in here yesterday. We're gonna circle 2.5 miles this morning before daylight into the furthest glassing knob that we can get to, and see if we can pick him back up coming to bed this morning, or a different buck, and then we'll probably try to make a midday play. If we don't see anything, we're gonna get down, go back to where we glassed yesterday morning, and set up for an afternoon sit and a tomorrow morning sit with a cold front rolling in. So we're gonna give this one last shot and see what happens. And bumped our buck at 30 yards that was on that doe. We might be okay. I looked up and he was standing right there. So we shifted about 50 yards because we can see down in the bottom more
I want to just make sure we're not missing deer running north-south. Now we can see and make a play on if anything comes off these private ag fields back up into these public coulees. And then we can see the coulees going to the telephone poles from yesterday. So if they come in and they decide to bed up top, we'll be able to watch that. So we already saw the buck we're after with his doe. And then we watched a little buck come out of one of those coulees and run right down past us. So we'll see what happens. It should be a good morning. There, he's running. How big is he? Running across that green field. There he goes. You know what happened? He smelled us. That sucks. He was big. Did you see? He came across the top there. Boy, that was a big deer. I was taking a piss. Retucking in my pants. And freaking Magnum ran across that field. He got our wind, must be. He was coming up and he ran back down and then he ran towards the road. Man, just wrong side. What do you do about that? He was a good boy. He was a shooter for sure. Yeah, our wind's blowing right there. That's the game we play. We can't even hunt over there, so we're doing the best we can with our wind. They don't travel low. They run across the top of these points. That's something that I'm starting to catch on to real quick. Of course that's what happens. There's gonna be a spot where they cross this fence and go around this pond. I want to find that tree for the next couple of days for you and I. I think we can kill that buck here if we don't kill him in 5 minutes. North wind, we could sit in that tree right there. Look how perfect that is. We could shoot this whole funnel tomorrow. I don't know, we can shoot all the way across it. That's gotta be a killer spot. We might do that in the morning.
Long story, D-Rock. We found a good spot yesterday morning. It's kind of wide open. We found a good spot this morning. A little bit thicker, but we spent time in there. We want to hunt it tomorrow in the north wind. It's windy out, so we don't want to go back to that wide open spot that had deer all over the place. Just because I think they're gonna want they're gonna want to be in a tighter area with some trees. So there was a guy here yesterday, but we don't think that he's gonna do what we did because we're about to just go way further than you probably should, up and down some mountains. So we're gonna get way back in there, up against the pine thicket, see what happens.
Now you tell me about the mountain part of it.
This whole time you're like, yay.
Oh.
D-Rock, how do you feel about this? Yay.
Oh.
Okay.
Afternoon of day 2, Derek and I worked into a brand new system that looks great on a map. About 2 mile access. We don't think anybody's been back in here. We've got a huge pond and 5 or 6 drainages that meet at that pond, but there's only woods running down one side of the pond to ag fields. It's about 25-30 yards wide, littered with rubs, just huge rubs. So we think these deer are traveling through here, and they're also crossing right here behind us and hitting a scrape. So we've got an X marks the spot that looks unbelievable. We're set up about 15 feet high. I've got a 10-yard shot, 15-yard shot, a 20, 27, and 30, and that's it. That's all we got in here. It's tight. Let's get them. Here. Right here. He's coming right down the pipe. Just be ready. He's coming. Hang on. just not gonna have a shot. Wow, that sucks. Wow. Wow. He's gonna smell us any second. Oh my god, dude. That was literally a giant 8-point. That was the biggest body deer I've ever seen, dude. 34 yards. And it's the tree. This tree is like, there's no shots except for close. I mean, there's nothing. That makes me sick to my stomach. He was huge, dude. That was the biggest 8-point I think I've ever seen. Like, he was super tall.
He read the script.
Just wrong trail. Dude, I'm so bummed out right now. We're sitting in that same funnel that we sat in last night when we had the encounter. We've got a north wind and a cold front, hoping to catch these deer coming back from feeding. So we're gonna sit here until about 10. If we don't see anything, we're gonna get down and find a tree to sit in on the next south wind. We've got more south winds coming up than north winds. So we're gonna find a better tree than this and probably sit there for at least a couple more days. All right, we're gonna get down because our wind is just not right in here. So we're gonna make sure we don't step on any of these trails. We're gonna back out, go out in this opening, and then try to find another tree. That buck came through at 50 and worked down to 30, and we can shoot both trails over there. It gets really narrow, so we're gonna get down, try to find a tree for the south and southwest winds we're gonna have over the next 3 to 4 days. And we very well could sit the same tree every day. I think this spot is really good. It's got a ton of sign. There's no pressure back here. They have food at the end of it. It's got everything we need, so we just need to hunt it on the right wind. So we're gonna get down and figure something out. I don't see another suitable tree. I think that tree over there is the one, to be honest with you, man. There's a scrape here that's wide open. There's a rub there. I just don't want to push too far and then leave boot scent. So right now, we can still get away with sitting back over there up against that pine, and we'll probably have a pretty awesome hunt.
What happened to Jake?
Well, our best chance to kill a deer, because I'm broke, we're driving a Jeep Compass, and we're driving on gravel roads with it. It's not meant for that, and so we got a flat tire. So we gotta wait at Walmart. We gotta get to Walmart, but then we're gonna have to wait at Walmart, and our best morning, we're not gonna be in the woods, which is great.
What's going on, Jake?
Hoopty's back in action is what's going on. $32 later, 5 hours later, we got 2 plugs and 2 tires, and we're going to put a buck on top of this thing.
Right here, right?
We'll strap it on there. How about that for foreshadowing?
What was he doing?
Well, this morning we got back and there was 2 people shagging at 4 a.m. underneath us in that Airbnb, and we had to listen to that instead of going to sleep. So lack of sleep, stressed out about the car, but you know what, we get to hunt this afternoon, so I think we're gonna kill one. You think we're gonna kill one?
I think so.
105 Kansas Booner. A Kansas Booner.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Let's go.
Big buck, big buck, big buck.
That's a good job, buddy.
Let's go, baby.
Holy crap, he came in behind us, dude. Dude, it was right through him. It was perfect.
You smoked him.
Smoked him. D-Rock, we did it, man.
We did it.
Dude, we did it. Oh my gosh, dude. That looked like a great shot, didn't it? Yeah. I saw it sticking out of him on the other side.
It was a little overexposed, but
yeah,
you could see him.
Oh, D-Rock, I think we smoked him, man.
I can't believe he came right there.
Me neither.
My leg's going. You see my leg?
I mean, I'm like...
Dude, it happened. I can't believe he let that happen. Because I saw he was going to go past the tree. And I was like, meh. And then I was like, meh. And he looks at me and he's looking at me and I'm like 37. And he's still looking. And I go again. And then he starts to walk and I was like, meh. And I draw back and he's just hanging out. He just wanted to hang out.
How many hours have we been in the stand collectively this whole trip?
Less than, let's say 4, 8, probably 10. You think 10?
In 5 days?
Third sit.
Yeah.
Sit number 3. I mean, once we find blood, I almost feel like he would stay up there, but dude, he's just completely plugged up. I just feel like normally you start getting good blood. Like these things, all the bucks I've shot with these that have ran more than 50 yards scare the heck out of me. My Kansas buck 2 years ago, there was no blood. And then I finally got on blood and then he opened right up and he was dead. Okay. So, it's definitely got, yeah, it's got bubbles in it. It looks good. Let's go back. So let's mark this. And let's go back and see if we can find more blood. I mean, that's what you want, dude. That's great. That's great blood. That is great blood. Where did he come from? Let's just be quiet and just kind of move up into that draw. It is good blood. It looks like a bed, but I don't think that's from him, do you? You think that's his bed? We might have bumped him. Yeah, we bumped him. What? Yeah, it could be why. I mean, it looks good, D-Rock. It looks right. I mean, I just think maybe we go back and tear everything down. I don't know if that was his bed. He could have just bled in that bed. That bed was tiny, wasn't it? God, that looked like a deer laying there with a rag. He's hurting bad.
You see him?
Yeah, he's only 60 yards. He's right there.
I circled around and I finished him off. He was just suffering a little bit, so I wanted to get out in the field as quick as I could, but I didn't want to. I had to circle with the cattle, so they were all behind me. But I gave him a finisher offer, and he's done, man.
Congrats, buddy. He's a nice buck.
Thank you, dude. I got to the edge. I mean, we made a big loop because we knew he was hit good, and I didn't want to lose sight of him. You can glass a long way out here. So we got in front of him, and I finished him off right here, and he is done. We have our Kansas buck.
Let's go, baby.
We got a Kansas buck, D-Rock.
Congrats, dude.
Oh, man.
Let's pick him up. Let's see him. Yeah.
He's not a bad buck, huh? I love that. Look at that kicker.
Yeah, that's cool, dude.
Yeah, he's not a bad buck at all. Heck yeah.
What's the plan now, Jake?
Well, now we're gonna haul this deer 2 miles, D-Rock.
Uphill?
Uphill.
You always leave that part out when you're telling people.
Yeah, we gotta go uphill a little bit. It's like just around the corner, you know? It's not that far. This is a good wild calling shirt. Jacob Sklenner. I should just put him on my shoulders like Jacob does.
Yeah.